Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something that might be keeping you up at night if you're in your 30s or approaching 40. That voice that whispers, "It's too late for me to change my life." Maybe you felt that knot in your stomach when you see people younger than you making it. Or maybe you find yourself saying things like, "I should have figured this out years ago." I get it. Society has fed us this story that if you haven't made it by 30, you've somehow missed the boat. That transformation has an expiration date. But here's the truth. That's complete nonsense. Not only is it not too late for you to transform your life in your 30s or 40s, but I'm going to show you why this might actually be the perfect time to make those changes you've been dreaming about. And this isn't just motivational fluff. There's real science and psychology behind why this age range gives you advantages that 20-year-olds simply don't have. So let's break down why your age isn't your enemy. It's actually your secret weapon. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Where did we get this idea that meaningful life changes have to happen when we're young? Part of it comes from how success stories are packaged in the media. We love stories about the 23-year-old billionaire or the 25-year-old who revolutionized an industry. But this creates a completely distorted view of reality. Did you know that the average age of successful startup founders is actually 45? Or that people who change careers in their 30s and 40s are statistically more likely to find satisfaction and stay in those new paths longer? Here's what nobody tells you. Most overnight successes were 10 to 15 years in the making. We just don't see the decade of work that came before. Social media makes this even worse. We're constantly bombarded with highlight reels of people's lives, creating this illusion that everyone else has it figured out while you're falling behind. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Let's talk science for a second. Your brain in your 30s and 40s is actually operating at an advantage for meaningful change. Research shows that while raw processing speed might peak in our 20s, our decision-making abilities, emotional regulation, and pattern recognition continue developing well into our 40s. In your 30s and 40s, you have what scientists call crystallized intelligence, the ability to use knowledge gained from past experience to solve problems. This means you can learn new skills faster than you could in your 20s because you have more mental frameworks to connect new information to. Think about it like this. A 22-year-old might memorize facts quicker, but you'll understand concepts more deeply because you can relate them to things you already know. You're not starting from scratch. You're building on a foundation you've been laying for decades. Now let's talk about your secret weapon, experience. In your 30s and 40s, you've accumulated thousands of data points about what works for you and what doesn't. You've tried things. You've failed at things. You've succeeded at things. That's not baggage. That's valuable information. A 25-year-old might have to guess if they'll enjoy a certain career path or lifestyle. You already have evidence about what energizes you and what drains you. Those failures you're beating yourself up about, they're actually your greatest asset for transformation. Let me give you an example. Let's say you tried starting a side business a few years ago and it didn't work out. Instead of seeing that as proof that I'm not cut out to be an entrepreneur, you can now approach it with, I learned I need more structure when starting something new. I discovered I'm great at the creative part but need help with the marketing. I realized I'm passionate about the industry but need a different role in it. This is what I call experience transformation versus youthful experimentation. In your 20s, change is often random and scattered. In your 30s and 40s, change can be strategic and focused because you're building on actual evidence from your life. Here's another advantage you might not have considered: stability. In your 30s and 40s, you likely have more stability in certain areas of life than you did in your 20s. Maybe your finances are more predictable. Maybe your relationships are more established. Maybe your basic needs are more consistently met. This stability creates a platform that actually makes transformation easier, not harder. When you're not scrambling to figure out basic survival, you have more mental and emotional bandwidth for meaningful change. Think about it. Someone in their early 20s might be simultaneously figuring out how to pay rent for the first time, how to navigate adult relationships, how to manage their time without an external structure, how to cook meals and maintain a living space, how to build professional skills from scratch. You've already figured out many of these fundamentals. That frees up enormous mental space for focusing on transformation. Now let's talk about perhaps the biggest advantage: clarity. In your 30s and 40s, you have a clearer picture of what truly matters to you. You've likely outgrown the need to impress everyone. You've probably realized that some dreams weren't actually yours but were imposed on you by others or by society. This clarity is incredibly powerful for genuine transformation. Instead of changing your life based on what you think you should want, you can change your life based on what you actually want. I love how author Srinivas Rao puts it. In your 20s, you're still collecting data. In your 30s and 40s, you can finally start making sense of it. So, how do you actually leverage these advantages to transform your life in your 30s or 40s? Let me share a simple framework I call the Second Act Framework. Step 1. The Experience Inventory. Take stock of what you've learned works for you and what doesn't. What environments help you thrive? What types of people bring out your best? What activities give you energy rather than drain it? Don't just focus on work experience. Consider relationships, hobbies, living situations, everything that's taught you something about yourself. Step 2. The Permission Protocol. Give yourself explicit permission to change without explaining it to everyone. Write it down. I give myself permission to transform my life even if others don't understand. Remember, people in your life have formed a mental image of you that makes sense to them. When you change, it disrupts that image, which can make them uncomfortable. That's about them, not you. Step 3. The Wisdom Filter. For any change you're considering, run it through your life wisdom. Ask yourself, based on everything I know about myself, is this aligned with who I really am? This is where your age becomes your superpower. You have data your younger self didn't have. Step 4. The Confidence Compound. Start with small changes that build on each other. Each small success creates evidence that transformation is possible, building momentum for bigger changes. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier, taking a different route to work, or having one conversation you've been avoiding. Small changes rewire your belief about what's possible. Step 5. The Legacy Mindset Frame. Your transformation not just in terms of your own life, but how it might impact others, your family, community, or even future generations. This creates purpose beyond just personal satisfaction, which research shows makes us more resilient when facing obstacles. Look, I know it can feel like everyone around you has their life figured out while you're still searching. But that's not reality. It's an illusion created by social media and our selective memory. The truth is that your 30s and 40s might be the best time to transform your life precisely because of the wisdom, clarity, and stability you've gained. Your age isn't your enemy, it's your advantage. So the next time that voice tells you it's too late, remember, you're not running behind. You're exactly where you need to be, with exactly the experience you need to create a life that truly fits who you are. Some of the most meaningful transformations in history happened to people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. Julia Child was 36 when she first learned to cook. Vera Wong didn't design her first dress until she was 40. Stan Lee created his first hit comic at 43. Your transformation story is just beginning, and you have everything you need to write it exactly as you want. If this resonated with you, hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments what transformation you're working on right now. And remember, it's never too late to become who you might have been. I'll see you in the next video.